All signs point to this, as we have a major update that signals the imminent return of an impact player to the Oilers, and this has fans absolutely fired up at the idea of him coming back to the team. We are kicking off March Madness with a bracket for this channel. We've partnered with the Hot Takes app and other digest channels for this event, and it's completely free to sign up. You sign up with the Hot Takes app, find the digest group to join the competition. This is really exciting, as there is over $35,000 in prizes to be won, and since there is such a smaller pool of people participating, you have a real chance of winning. Check out the link below or scan the QR code to download the app, and make sure to use the promo code DIGEST in all caps to get exclusive perks when signing in. Again, completely free to sign up and a serious chance to win big. If you have any other questions, reach out to us in the email below in the description, and we're excited to see you join the March Madness pool. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Oilers Digest. My name is Nikash Ganguli. Hope everyone is having an amazing day and amazing time whenever you guys are watching this. And we have a lot of stuff to talk about that came from the Oilers practice this morning. One of the more eventful practices we've had in a while, especially given that the trade deadline is over. But before we get into that and the possible return of Evander Kane, make sure you guys do, of course, subscribe to the channel. We are at 80% of viewers who are currently not subscribed. So if you are watching all our videos and you like the content we're putting out, hit subscribe to the channel. Let's get that 19% way higher. Let's get that 80% way lower. And you can see all our videos right when they come out. And if you hit subscribe and hit that notification bell, it'll be right in your subscription box when you see it. And you get a notification on your phone when our videos do release. Because we are covering absolutely everything Oilers on the channel as we get closer to the Stanley Cup playoffs here. It's not that far away. Just over a month as of yesterday. So that'll be fun to cover as we get closer and closer to hopefully another Stanley Cup final run for the Edmonton Oilers. But with that being said, let's get right into the big news today, as Evander Kane was on the optional, he did take optional skate for the Edmonton Oilers today. This is big news for the Oilers. There has been a lot of questions about Evander Kane and when he would be able to come back. We do know he is out for the rest of the regular season. There's about 3 and a bit weeks left in that, and hopefully he will be back for the Stanley Cup playoffs. And seeing him skate is a strong encouragement for the Edmonton Oilers faithful, of course, and for everyone around the team. It seems like the Oilers have really missed that scoring punch on the wing. Jeff Skinner and Victor Arvidsson still really haven't been able to provide that. And Evander Kane, we know what he does if we look at his stats here. Evander Kane, we can see that all he kind of does is score goals. Last year he had 24 goals. This season, of course, he hasn't scored yet. But one thing that Evander Kane has been used for the Oilers is those playoff stats. If you look in the bottom right, in his first season with the Edmonton Oilers in the playoffs, he had 17 points in 25 games. A lot of them goals, about 17 goals there, which was crazy. And he is going to, the Oilers are going to need a healthy Evander Kane if they want to make an even deeper push. Last year, he did play, but it wasn't up to par. He was clearly injured, and he is trying to rehab and get past that as we get closer to playoffs again. He's a great goal scorer for them. He's had 20-plus goals in every season with the Edmonton Oilers since he joined. So he's a hugely important piece for them, especially if he can come to the top 6 and play a strong, heavy, goal-scoring type of role. I think it's going to be big for them, and maybe alleviate some of the pressure off of Arvidsson, Podkolzin, a Kapanen, or even a Jeff Skinner. If they can put on the third line or fourth lines, they would have less pressure on them. Maybe they could contribute in that way. So I think that would be huge for the Oilers. That would be awesome for them. And I think a lot of fans are waiting for Evander Kane to come back. This was a huge thing looming around the trade deadline, whether or not he'd be able to play. How would this impact the trade deadline? Who would the Oilers go and acquire? So if they can get Evander Kane back, as well as Trent Frederick, who we've talked about on other videos, I think that'll be big for them, and once they're fully healthy, they will be primed to make another deep run. But also something fun to mention, I guess, in the practice was, current Prime Minister of Canada was at the Edmonton Oilers practice today. Mark Carney, the new Prime Minister of Canada. If we take a look here, Mark Carney, there he is at the Oilers practice, just skating around, and he got his own Oilers jersey, so that was cool. If we look at this here, from Tony Barr, Prime Minister Mark Carney on the ice with the Oilers this morning, snipe and sell. He doesn't get more Canadian than that. However you may feel about Mark Carney, it's interesting to see the Prime Minister of Canada skating with the Edmonton Oilers. So I just thought I'd bring that up. It's very interesting. It's very funny, and I think that could be how much help does Connor McDavid need on the wing? Does he need Mark Carney on the wing to help score him? Who knows, but I just thought that was pretty funny to mention. But let's get into some more news here. Is Leon Draisaitl is probably not going to play tonight against the Winnipeg Jets. From my understanding, he is doubtful today. Knoblauch says they'll be cautious with him and make sure he's healthy for the playoffs game to game for now. And obviously Leon Draisaitl, what is there to say about Leon Draisaitl? Am I right? He's probably the best player in the NHL today. Obviously, generally we're saying Connor McDavid, but it's nice to have both of them on the same team, isn't it? So yeah, Leon Draisaitl might not. Looks like he's not playing tonight. They're trying to manage a lot of his games as we get closer to the playoffs. We know Draisaitl has dealt with some injuries in the past, especially that have impacted him in the playoffs. So getting a fully healthy, fully able Draisaitl as we get closer to the playoffs would be awesome for the league and for the team. Leon Draisaitl, of course, the premier NHL player. You don't want him to be hurt. And I don't mind this from the Edmonton Oilers. They know they're going to make the playoffs. It's looking more and more likely that it's going to be them versus the Los Angeles Kings again. We know how that goes. They always seem to beat them, although they still do have a chance to catch the Vegas Golden Knights. So that could be interesting to see in terms of seeding. And obviously, another thing for Draisaitl, we do talk about him leading the league in goal scoring, of course. If we look at that, he still has 11 goals over the next person, which is William Nylander on the Toronto Maple Leafs, over 101 points and the same amount of games played as Nylander. So it looks like that Rocket Richard is all but locked up for Draisaitl. So I don't think he cares about the individual awards. He's won a ton of them already. But if that was something as an Oilers fan, you may want him to get another Rocket Richard, just add to that career accolades. He's probably got that locked up. I don't suspect William Nylander to score over 11 goals in the next few games here, and Draisaitl score 0. So I wouldn't be worried about that, to say the least, if I was an Edmonton Oilers fan. But again, Draisaitl, Evander Kane, Trent Frederic, all guys to look for in terms of injuries heading into the playoffs. Hopefully everyone is going to be fully healthy. We know they're athletes. They're probably always dealing with something. But again, I don't think this is going to be a bad idea at all. And now, something to look at is the Oilers' lines without Leon Draisaitl is not as great as you would imagine. If we take a look at the Oilers lineup here, Jeff Skinner, Connor McDavid, Zach Hyman. Skinner can hopefully get going with McDavid. Podkolzin, Nugent-Hopkins, Arvidsson. Obviously, that line looks a little bleak without Leon Draisaitl on it. But what are you going to do? It's Leon Draisaitl at the end of the day. Any time you take him out, you're going to be losing. But Nugent-Hopkins has played well over the past few games. He had a great run over the last two. I think he had like 6 points or something. So Podkolzin, Nugent-Hopkins, Arvidsson, solid. Corey Perry, Adam Henry, Connor Brown, Max Jones, Matthias Janmark, Marcus Berry, Kapanen. And I think, guys, if we get close to plus and you are able to get in, I mean, obviously you're going to have Draisaitl, but guys like Trent Frederic and Evander Kane, this lineup is going to look a lot better going to the plus. There is some worries about depth scoring right now, but you have two important pieces that are injured. Trent Frederic hasn't played for the Oilers at all this year, and Evander Kane hasn't played it all period. So getting guys, hopefully they're rejuvenated again. Maybe for Trent Frederic, not going to be easy to just throw him into the lineup and be like, hey man, go play with the Oilers. He's practiced a bit, but he hasn't been able to play with them. And Evander Kane, you're going to throw him right into game one of the playoffs. He hasn't played at all. Should be interesting to see. I'm not sure how they're going to be able to manage that. And on defense, really nothing changed from last game. Ekholm, Bouchard, Nurse, Stetcher, and Walman, Kulak. Walman on the third pair. I said, for those that haven't watched, I said in the past videos, I am a little bit surprised he's playing third pair lefty, but I'm sure he's getting the minutes no matter what. It doesn't really matter. Again, I could have seen him playing on that right side with Nurse, but honestly, looking at this defense, no Ty Emberson, no John Klingberg. I don't know if the John Klingberg experiment is still happening, but Ekholm, Bouchard, Nurse, Stetcher, Walman, Kulak. I think that's a very solid D-core. Even if you get Emberson in there instead of a Stetcher or a Kulak. Kulak seems to be that guy. The five seems to be Ekholm, Bouchard, Nurse, Walman, and Kulak, and then you rotate in Emberson or Stetcher. And honestly, to me, that's a solid D-core. I think they're going to be fine. And then, of course, before we wrap up the video here, let's take a quick look at the Pacific Division standings. Again, I said earlier in the video, there is a chance the Oilers can catch the Vegas Golden Knights. Unfortunately, they have played one more game, and the Golden Knights do have 2 more points. But the Oilers are on a win streak, and the Golden Knights are on a little bit of a losing streak. They've lost 2 in a row. And, the division is still in reach. I will say that. I think it's not impossible that they can get it. But maybe, if you guys want to let me know in the comments, do you guys just want to play the Kings again? Because, the Oilers, they seem like they can just beat them in less games every year. 7 games, 6 games, 5 games. Maybe this year it'll be a sweep. Who knows? And then, of course, we have tonight's game between the Edmonton Oilers and the Winnipeg Jets, which I believe is going to be Stuart Skinner versus Connor McDavid. So, let me know what you guys think how this game will go. The Winnipeg Jets are the best team in the NHL, 47-18-4. They're easily leading the Central Division there. They have been great all-year backstop by Connor McDavid back there, and the Oilers without Draisaitl might have a tough time beating them. So let me know what you guys think of Evander Kane coming back, Draisaitl not playing, and overall if the Oilers can get the job done tonight. It should be an interesting game. And of course, guys, hope everyone had a good one, and we will see you in the next video. Peace out.